Welcome to Hong Kong International Airport. In 2025, the airport handled 61 million passengers and nearly 395,000 aircraft movements across its three runways. Its cargo operation topped 5 million tons, making the world's busiest cargo airport. But the real magic isn't just the numbers. It happens behind the closed doors, where precision meets pressure.
This is the most sophisticated and fully integrated control center in the whole world.
Today, I've been given rare access inside the integrated airport center. It is the brain behind one of the busiest airports in the world.
Welcome to HKIA Hong Kong International Airport, IAC. IAC stands for Integrated Airport Center. So on the island at Hong Kong Airport, we have two important control centers. Of course, the most important is the ATC, we call it Air Traffic Control Center, which actually control and regulate all the flight and landing and takeoff from Hong Kong Airport. But after that, once the aircraft landed on the island and the airport, actually here control everything, from the airfield, terminal, security, everything. Now, normally I will look at the on-time performance here. Okay, today on-time performance is 61. Actually, it's not good. Our standard is 85%. So at the good day, we can do up to 90, 95%. The reason we only have 61% today is due to the bad weather of this morning. You look at the overview of the airport. We have a scheduled departure flight on 575, arrival is 571. You look at the market. Like in the perfect day, the bar should catch up with the market. You can see the departure, actually we are a little bit behind. Arrival, we are doing okay. So this is the overall on-time performance. Then we move on to our airfield. Now airfield, from the left-hand side, this is actually, we call it a digital apron. They provide the augmented information together with image. Actually help the operator a lot. Look at the third one from the left. That one is our baggage handling system. Now, for the hub airport like Hong Kong, we are one of the most important transit hub in Asia. The connection time is very important. Our MCT, the minimum connection time is 15 minutes, 50. And in the 50 MCT, the most difficult part is not the passenger. Passenger can run from one gate to another one, but the most important is the baggage. The baggage lead to the inbound to take out from the inbound flight, and then the RHO people, the operator need to bring the baggage to the baggage hall, do the screening, and then uploading to the outgoing flight again. Now within 15 minutes, the baggage handling system only have 12 minutes. 12 minutes from loading to the system, X-ray, and then come out again. See our performance today. Now we are doing 8 minutes and 38, so we are past. Our standard for handling of the arrival baggage, the first bag should be delivered to the passenger within 20 minutes from the chalk on. Today, our performance is 87. Not too bad, but we failed for the last bag. The last bag, we should achieve 40 minutes after the chalk on. So our staff should actually take note of the last bag performance right now. So in the terminal, we install almost 5,000 cameras. They all with the video analytic function. So, okay, in case of that, this unusual color at a particular area, the green color will change to red. Then our staff need to pay attention on it. Also, we do a forecast for our hourly movement of the passenger. You see the one over there is departure hourly passenger count and the arrival count. That is very important. For departure, actually, that figure is determine how many X-ray channels we need to open for handling all the departure passenger. Arrival, for obvious reason, we pass the data for immigration. They need to man all the immigration counter to receiving all the arrival passenger. So we use a lot of technology to make sure the safety of the airside. I'll take for example, this is our FOD system. Now, Three-runway is all covered by the CCTV here. So actually, they are all equipped with the AI function. Now, for our normally a one-way is 3.8 kilometer. Okay, at the old day, we are using our people to manually patrol and to pick up all the FOD on the runway. Nowadays, actually, we're using CCTV AI technology. Along the runway, we have 11 towers. They are around 8 meter high. And then each tower, we install the Pentil zoom camera. And each section is around 300 meters. So in the event that you pick up any FOD on the runway and the alarm come up, then this gentleman need to adjust to double confirm whether this is a valid alarm or false alarm or not.
I've got a question for you. There are passengers sometimes wonder, how come my flight's parked at gate 71? And sometimes, how come my flight's parked at gate number 6?
Now, actually, the most question people all over ask, why I'm so unlucky parked in the remote?
Yes.
That is our criteria. Because we have a limited number of frontal stand. Okay, we normally will give the priority for the wide body aircraft. For the narrow body, because the lesser passenger. So if that is both aircraft come in together, wide body, narrow body, we normally give priority to the wide body to come in. And also long haul, short haul. Long haul passenger, they already travel over 10 hours. So we give a long haul, wide body aircraft the first priority. Let them to park the frontal stand. So, and also about the parking stand allocation. The airline hopping is one of the major considerations. For example, Cathay Pacific, they have 30–40% of the passenger, they are transit passenger. So the passenger actually need to running from one gate to another. So actually we need to calculate where we should put the aircraft to what particular position to minimize the walking distance of the passenger. This is all not by human. These are all computer working on that one.
So computer allocate the gates based on availability.
And also, the computer already load the number of passenger on each aircraft. They load where they're going to, where they're connecting to. So they calculated the total walking distance and make the most optimum solution to put the aircraft. They're monitoring when the aircraft they come in. So in case of any unusual abnormality, actually that guy did is the emergency button, they can stop it. So we call it remote marshalling.
When hit the alarm, what will happen?
Okay, at each parking stand, we have the APA, aircraft parking aid display. And then you will stop function.
It will be showing a red stop.
Stop. We're also controlling and monitoring the overall operation status of our BHS system. That in case of that is any stoppage alarm, you come up these people, you send our maintenance staff to going out there to take care of it. For the arrival, for example, for the arrival baggage, we need to also assign different carousel, arrival carousel for different flights. So this gentleman actually is working on the arrival carousel allocation. And each bar represents one flight. So different color, of course, different purpose. The green is the light low. The red is the heavy low. Maybe have 300 or even 400 baggage.
Hong Kong has a lot of typhoon in the summer. So how do you handle all of these kind of destructional weather that cause a lot of disruptions at the airport?
We have a typhoon simulation here. So we have different scenarios. That one you see here is for the typhoon scenario. Of course, this is for demonstration only. The focus we are on will be in, you see the middle part, for example, different runway, we have the wind, crosswind, the wind direction for all three runway at different runway end. Of course, we need to keep monitoring the weather situation. The more important is the flight reschedule. Because after the typhoon, actually we are reschedule all the original scheduled flight. We not only look at the one day. Like for example, that one, we are looking on 3 days, 17 July, 18 and 19 July. So we have another session there doing the reschedule So basically cancel all the reschedule flight and then reschedule again. And that the reschedule is depend on the one-way capacity. That one after the typhoon. You see the middle one, current airside departure passenger. For example, now we have 13,550, is it?
Yep.
Normal day, we're 8,000. So that means we have around 4,000 additional passengers there stranded. Now you see that one over there, the flight arrived after the midnight. So we need to ensure that we have the sufficient transportation, taxi, bus to handle the arrival passenger. But that is important because we are roughly can calculate the number of passengers we need to handle from T1 and T1M.
Approaching minimums. 200 minimums. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Stephen gave me an overview of Hong Kong Airport, with all 3 runways now fully operational. He also talked about the future plan, which includes the new Terminal 2.
So this is an overview of the Hong Kong International Airport. I think you still remember we moved it from old Kai Tak Airport to Chap Kok in 1998. To Canton Bay is already 27 years.
6th of July, was it?
6th of July. When we moving from Kai Tak to this new airport, actually, the major difference is that we are changing from a single one-way operation to a dual one-way operation. In the first 20 years, we basically maximize the capacity for 2 one-way. So around 10 years ago, 2016, we found that we already reached the capacity. So we have to start a project, we call it 3 one-way project. So to build another one-way. Now with the 3 one-way, the best we can do is over 100. So currently estimate is 102. Now personally, I think we can even do better than 102 within 1 hour. So we started the project in 2016 for the 3 one-way project, but the project is not only limited by one-way. So once we complete this one-way, this new 3rd one-way, at the same time we're closing this center one-way, because we need to build a tunnel underneath this center one-way to allow the vehicle to travel from one end to another end. So it takes another 2 years for us to complete the construction work. By 2024, 8 years after 2016, we complete all 3 one-way. So by the end of 2024, we start the operation for 3 one-way system. So we are gradually increasing our flight to 100, but it takes time. Now for the 3 one-way project, we are only not limited to the one-way. We also have a new terminal here. That one is the new Terminal 2. You see the footprint, they're almost the same size as the T1. All the future, the departure passenger, we're doing the check-in here. After the check-in, they will go for the immigration, they're going down to the basement. Then they will take the APM, the auto paper mover, all the way to this is Terminal 2 concourse.
Next, I head to the midfield concourse to see how autonomous vehicles are being used across the airport. Here, robots are taking the wheel, replacing human drivers to move equipment and cargo.
Wow, this is very interesting.
Autonomous electrical vehicle, we call it AET. Now we have been using this since 2019. Now we start only for only 1 AET. Now we already 55. This is so successful. Now you look at the top, that one is the GPS. They are not only rely on one type of the global positioning system. They have from China, from Russia, from Europe. There are 4 different types of GPS. Actually, they are doing the calibration within itself. We also have the LiDAR. This is a LiDAR. Actually detects all the objects actually several hundred meters away. And also we have the video analytics. So we have 3 layers of the safety feature. So we have GPS, we have the LiDAR, we have the video analytics, and so far, 0 accident. The first AET is for the first bag. I mentioned about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So actually for the WAN people, they're very simple. They're towing the unloaded bag to here, they hook up with the AET, and they press the button and you go.
What are the future directions in terms of autonomous machineries at the airport? You're going to expect more autonomous vehicles?
Without a single doubt. Actually, we are not only working the AET. Now we already have the autonomous patrol car, we have the autonomous bus, and now we have a 175. By the end of this year, we will become 100, and very soon we'll be 200. So actually, we want to apply autonomous vehicle to all different types of operation on the airport.
I'm at the check-in level here. The airport check-in technology has changed a lot. I'm sure these days your facial has been recognized. You went through biometric gates. I'm with Joanne Ma here. She's in charge of the customer experience at the airport. I'm a bit confused. Sometimes I came through Hong Kong airport, I have no idea where did they collected my face.
We can register our passengers' facial token and flight information at check-in, either at our kiosk or at our traditional counter. Your face will become your boarding pass. So whenever you go after the departure process, for example, the security screening, immigration, and boarding, you no longer are required to take out your passport or your boarding passes again. Your face is your boarding pass.
I'm trying out a new feature using my smartphone to check my bag. Simply upload your passport biometric on the airline app. At the airport, go straight to the bag drop counter.
So once you arrive at the airport, our biometrics camera will capture your face and verify your identity.
Okay, so he recognized my face.
And
printing.
the baggage tag will be printed out. So you're going to Narita today?
Yep. So my bag is actually dropped here, and the computer print out a bag tag. And you just stick to the number 2 spot. And that's simple as it is. I'm all good to go without any hazards, and confirm bag drop, 5.4 kilo. There you go, it went. I think the key takeaway message is that was integrated to the airline app. Cathay has it, Hong Kong Express has it. Now I can do it anytime on my smartphone to generate that bag tag. When I came here, what I realized is that recognized my facial expression. So, and then when I show up my face, it self-print out a baggage tag, and I can tag my bag and send my bag away. So without anyone helping me in the counter, I can just do it all at my own pace here.
One area where Hong Kong airport's leading in technology is the biometric travel. Here, you don't need to take out your passport, ID card, or boarding pass at checkpoint, immigration, or even at the boarding gate. Your face becomes your passport and your boarding pass.
Saving the best to last on the airfield. What a beautiful sunset in front of us.